some of the mistake many, let's say, Africans or Nigerian living in diaspora is like, there's difference between investment and just sending money back home, or let's say just trying to build something back home. This is like the reason why many people in diaspora, like some of our brothers, some of the people I think I know, and a lot of people, because sometimes it's very hard when you're living in diaspora. You just leave, you work, and you send money back home. You leave, you work, at the end of the month you send money back home. What this really meant, let's be honest, what does it mean? Is it like that money you're sending home, is it going to work for you back home? If you have a business, let's say you're running and you're living here, for sure you cannot take care of that business as the same way like if you will be there by yourself. And I think this is also some of the reason why I think sometimes I would rather know someone, like you have a business idea or you have idea and you tell me what the idea is, and I will say, okay, I have this to invest in this business, in this idea. And if it's, let's say, a family member, because somehow we all left home in a different way and in different shape. Some people, their mothers, sold everything for them to come to diaspora, which I do also understand the reason why they have to send money back home, take care of their family, be there for their loved ones. And I do really appreciate that, and I really do respect that. But doing that sometimes is not let's say, the most ideal thing, because the people you left back home, without you, they are going to leave. They are going to live their life. They are going to drink. They are going to have a baby. Okay, so you supporting them is just a plus, it's just a bonus. But however, I think what could be done for you to really have like your life in order, because you don't want to spend tons of years in diaspora and you have nothing to account for. And if you're living in diaspora and you don't even have anything to really account for back home or here, some people don't have anything to account for back home, but they have a lot of things to account for in diaspora. And that's where the difference ways in. Most of the people that have something for them to be able to account for, like they have something they can account for in diaspora here, many of those people invested here and try to make a decision around their life here. And the people, some people, not all, not everyone, some people wouldn't really have, let's say, that thing they can account for both home and both in diaspora, is because a lot of brothers, I've seen this, like with many brothers, every month they just send money home to this, to that. If you have a mother or if you have a father you need to take care of, the best way to take care of them is to establish them. And this is also the best way you yourself can be free. For you to establish them, just find something or ask them what they would like to do, and from there you take the next step and try to make sure you are able to provide the right assistance for them. And then you build upon that, I did this for my parent, and then you can focus on yourself. Because sending money back to Africa every month, I'll break it down to you. Let's say in Germany where I live, okay, the minimum wage is like, let's say 1800 euro, like 1800 euro. I would say even that is not a minimum wage, to be realistic. The minimum wage in Germany is like you're working 40 hours a week, so you are going to work 8 hours a day and 5 times in a week. So which means it's 40 hours you're going to have in one week. And in that 40 hours, let's say you're living in Germany where you say the minimum wage in Germany differs. It depends on which state and which city, because each city has their own minimum wage and laws and regulations. So even though if Germany is one country, but they still has like different laws. But my point here is, let's say you're someone who in minimum wage, and many minimum wage, or let's say the people who can be considered like minimum wage worker is, let's say, some low skilled worker, or let's say essential worker, someone who do like a cleaning job, for example, or let's say someone who work in the supermarket, for example, or someone who, let's say, work in lady and all those places. Those jobs are considered minimum wage because you don't need high skills to get those jobs, and it can be really easily attained, like anywhere all over Germany. But now the point is, how much are you going to earn at the end of the month with the minimum wage? So let's say you earn 1700 at the end of the month, 1700 euro. Okay, this is what you earn after tax, and this is what comes on your account. So now depends on where you live, but I guess wherever where you live in Germany, let's say 600 from that money, depends. Okay, 600 euro from that money will go into your house rent, like utility bills and everything, something like that. For example, my apartment, everything at the end of the month is 1200 euro. Okay, so now just think about the calculation here. So for people who earn, for example, let's say 1600, 1700 euro, 600 euro of their income already goes to where they live, where they wake up. Okay, now your phone, maybe your internet, your house internet, your transportation, and I guess that will, if you're someone who has a car, then it will even go much higher, because you have to pay your car insurance, you have to buy petrol at the end of the month. Car insurance and petrol at the end of the month will cost you maybe around 250 euros. Take that away. But if you're not someone without a car, minus 100 euro from that, then you have 150. Again, that is 150 euro you have away from that 1000 euro. Now you are left with 850 euro. The 850 euro you are basically left with is you haven't removed anything like a cost of living, like for your food. Okay, now let's say, depends on, some people spend less, some people spend more. Let's say you took, what's it called, 200 euro to buy yourself a food stock and something like that, to out of this 750 or 850 that is left, and from this amount of the money that is left, like the 850 also, like now it remains 500. Let's say you also eat out or buy something, maybe you saw a drink, or you're going out, you just buy yourself like a donut or McDonald's or something. Let's just say that can account for 50 euro a month. Then you are left with 500 euro. Okay, now this is what is left of you after you having this amount of money. Like you receive 1600, you're left with 500 euro that you have to, let's say, live with. And anything also can still happen, throughout the month. But let's just say you are that good, like the rest of the money, nothing can happen to it. Now the question is, what are you going to do with that remaining money, the 500 euro? Let's say you're someone who send money home every month. How much of that money you're going to send home at the end of the month? Let's say you're going to send 250. Okay, let's just put it that way, however you want to put it. If you're someone who is sending that home, let's say you're sending 250 euro at the end of, now this is for just someone who is, let's say, single, you don't have kids, you don't have child, you don't have anything. Okay, this is just someone without that. But now let's say someone like me, like I have 2 kids and I have to pay for my kids every month 800 euro. 2 kids, 800 euro, which means 400 euro each for 2 kids, and my apartment 1200 euro. That alone is already 2000 euro. No food, no internet, no transportation, no electricity bill, nothing. I'm telling you, no heating out. This is just like to be realistic and to think of how now can you really save? How can you have a future plan? How can you have a pension plan? What is the right idea for you? And these are also some of the things I think we need to really talk about, like diaspora economics, like a lot, because I have seen many people, all they just do is they send money at the end of the month, every month, month after month, month after month. And this narrative is some of the things I think people really need to work on and try to find a better way to make sure they can balance it. What are the right things they can do to help the people back home? Is it sending money every month? I don't think so. I don't believe in that kind of narrative, because in Yoruba we say afuni lo n jeje kò dàbí ẹni tó kọ́ ni bó ṣe ń pẹja. It means, the person who gives you a food to eat is not a bad person, but the most good person is the one who shows you how to fish, how to harvest, how to plant, and how to also harvest your plant as well. So, and I think these are some of the things we need to work on and to change our narrative of how to approach change our life in diaspora for us to be really successful. It's not easy, and every brother and every sister, it depends on which, let's say, which phase, your journey phase in diaspora. But even if you work in IT tech, you're earning high, good salary, again, it still comes to that. If you have your own family here, and everything will start to like pile up at the same time. So the only thing for me, let's say how I approach my life is I try to invest a lot in myself. Of course, I don't have also any family member who is really like dragging me for money like that. Not really. I don't have anybody like saying, you just give me this. No, really. But at the end of the day, it just still comes to like, what about the people who are in this, circle? What can they do? And that is for them to be smart and make a smart investment. If you want to help the people back home, help them to invest properly and face your own life. If you have, let's say, 1,000 euro, close your eye, invest in them, and tell them this is all you have. Invest in them, their business, tell them you support them. If you have your mother set up a business so she can take care of her life, because if you have a father or something like that, just set them up a little bit for you to be able to move on. But again, I'll drop the mic right here, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao.